kids being a mirror. I strictly think that's a maternal thing. I have never. Really? Now my kids act like me and they have me in them, but it was never something that I had to learn about myself through them. I feel like every mom I've had this discussion with said that though. I see it in my own household, in my relationship, to the point where I say it. I'd be like, my girl can walk in, completely violate my boundary, completely, like with no regard, like to what's going on. It's just like I could say, yo, these are my M&Ms. I'm looking forward to eating these. I come back, half the pack is gone. But I only had 3. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't have touched them, right? Daughter go in, touch her perfume. No questions, no nothing. Walk past. Come here. You wearing my good girl? You wearing my YSL?
There's only 3 sprays.
Yeah. But mom, I only sprayed the one. That don't matter. That's what. What about my M&M? Motherfucker. But no, but that's different because you my man. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Don't you gaslight us on this fucking platform.
To me.
To me. It's different.
Not different.
That's our coin phrase.
Different. But look, let me explain something to y'all, man. This is what I would just explain on another show that I just did when I was in Atlanta. And this was advice to the men, but it's also a correlation because I got women here now. So for my audience, y'all can be the perspective. I feel like in every situation, to the point where it's redundant and my girl tries to like disregard it and discredit it. But in every situation that I was ever able to make, remember I said I use a correlation, make her understand something. It was always when I put her in my shoes because I'm a protector and a provider, right? And the only time women are truly that, right, is in a maternal way where it's like, this is I got to protect and provide for mine no matter what. Even if you're a single mom, you assume that role. So when it comes to suggestions that I might make from good intent that she might not understand, I always got to reverse it and say, well, think about it if you were talking to your child, because then you will understand my position on it. I'm not your dad, but in this particular dynamic, I'm the protector and a provider. In that dynamic, you're the protector and a provider. One analogy I gave her just recently was when it comes down to like, they always want to say, oh, men is prideful when it comes to asking for money or, receiving money from their woman, right? And I'm not saying these new men who just want to go, 50-50 or whatever. Not that it's a problem. I'm just saying, like, I'm speaking to the traditional conversation of men have a problem with it. I said, all right, let's not make it a problem, but let me give you perspective, right? Say, she gets allowance for doing her chores, right? She save up $100. Your phone bill is due. It's $100. She say, oh, mommy, I have $100 here. Take this and pay your phone bill. You appreciate the gesture, but it's still that part of you that don't want to accept it because you feel like they deserve to keep their money. As men, when we don't take the money or don't want to take the assistance or the suggestion to the solution, it's not minimizing your role or your contribution. It's basically just that same protection provision. I don't want to worry you with this because this is a problem that I'm capable of solving, even if it's not happening in your foreseeable vision. Gotcha. You follow me? So it's like the kid might want something now. Well, mommy, I'll just pay for it. But it's deeper than just paying for it. It might be another timing that's associated and attached to it. So if you're a man out there and you're trying to have a conversation and this woman has kids, in more cases than not, when it's come to her violating your boundaries, with her talking back to you, always insert her kid into the mix because that is the one true lane where she can understand. Like if I fucking pay for you to have X, Y, Z lifestyle and you talking to me crazy and you don't see nothing wrong with it, but you buy your kid a pair of sneakers and you throw that shit, but I'm buying you all this stuff and you talking to me like, you can clearly see why a person is frustrated and it's not control. If you say, I don't want my son going in that neighborhood because they be shooting, you don't feel like you're trying to control him. You feel like you got his best interest at heart. Right. So if a man say, I don't want my girl doing this and going here and doing that, this man is not trying to control. But that protection provision thing is very much prevalent when you are in that role. Y'all never assume that role with us, which is why it's like, oh, that nigga don't want me doing this. He want to control me. He don't want me living free. But it's like when the kids say, my mom want to control me, she don't understand. I do get it. I was in your shoes once. I lived there. I know what the outcome is. So for the men that's out there, if you ever need to draw the correlation, that's the best way to do it. But don't do it in a gaslighting way. Don't say, but you when your fucking kids are talking to you. It has to be in a calm sense of making the example. Listen, I'm explaining to you how I feel. When this happens, it's similar to when you complain about this happening. That's it. I didn't need your part.
Yeah, that's good. You were cooking there. You was cooking there, and I really was listening. Like, that's interesting. However, I'm a feminist, So
part time, because he was unanimous just 2 weeks ago.
Let's hear it.
I will clip it. When there was 3 dudes up here, he was instantly team. Fuck them. He was unanimous.
I'm a feminist.
But go ahead,
lady.
Like they don't need bank accounts.
He said they should be barefoot and pregnant cooking. His exact words.
You said that?
I'm a feminist. Like,
go ahead though.
no, but the one thing I like, again, similar to the head coach thing, we're talking about the assistant coach. Yeah. I think I want to open the conversation just for people that's receiving and want to be like, nigga, da 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 da. I think the elephant in the room of the conversation is like also yes, protect the provider, both dynamics at the same time. That is a child, and I am an adult though. So I'm curious to see what would be if I add that to the conversation, like that specific thing.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Because again, we're not talking about age here. We're talking about role. Protector, provider. The fact that you're an adult should mean you can understand what I'm saying, which means that this should be an easier conversation than trying to deliver it to a child.
I get that, but wouldn't adults just have more license?
No, I think that's a trauma response and people where we think we don't have boundaries because they adults, right? It's like my mom was allowed to come in my room whenever she pleased. Like, no, my mom will testify to this. I don't know how old I was, but I got my first piece of mail. She decided to open it. I let that lady know she would be going to jail for committing a federal crime and I don't even play that. But lady, because you're going to pay for this if you open my mail again. And I had to establish that dynamic, which is going now. I'm gonna land a plane on the whole that, but I gotta pivot real quick for the men again, so y'all don't maintain being a mama's boy. You have to cut the umbilical cord. Because most time your mom ain't gonna do it.
Absolutely.
She raised you. She is used to having that authoritative role in your life. Her opinions matter. Not saying you should just disregard your mom. Not saying telling your son.
I honestly think it's worse for daughters.
Hold on, but let me explain why y'all gotta cut the umbilical cord. You gotta make your mom see you as a man. And what I mean is like you have to start. Because like what tends to happen is, which is why they get so reliant on the activities and the responsibilities that their mom is willing to take on for them that they never go back and claim them for themselves. It's like, oh, because I could love my mom, I should. Because I could call my mom for this, I should. Because she will wash my clothes, I should get her to do it. Because she will feed me, I should have her cooking. It's like, no. At some point in your life, you have to cut the umbilical cord or she's going to always look at you like her son. To me, my mom is a grown-ass woman, but she's still a woman. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm still a man. Yes, that's my mom. Yes, I'm her son. But in the establishment of it, I understand that my mom is a woman and I am a man, which means that my mom has emotions. My mom has the same thing that I'm dealing with. She's just in her 60s. And it became more prevalent when I seen her do some shit that I'm like, oh, this shit don't stop. Like, my mom in her 60s and she doing that shit. There's no fucking out with this shit. So when I say cut the umbilical cord, it's like you won't be able to effectively run the structure in the way you want if your mom has authority over you, because then she has a super opinion in the way your household is ran and the woman you choose. Not that she can't have an opinion, but it shouldn't be so present that it's to the point where she almost has control. And like I feel like ladies should cut the umbilical cord, but they tend not to. It's like I raised this boy, he's a man now. I still have that authority over him to tell him what to do and what not to do. That's my son. And it's like, nah, you're my mom, and because you're my mom, I'm gonna protect you. I'll do whatever you need. I will never disrespect you, but you are also gonna respect me. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like one of them situations where it's like, yeah, cut the umbilical cord. Now, to go back to that dynamic and land a plane, on that is, no, it's not a difference. And it's just a role. It don't matter. If your boss was younger than you, that's still your fucking boss. So if I'm the protector and a provider, that means it's my responsibility to make sure you're okay. If I have to do that, it should be no kickback for that. You have to trust that the same way we would want our children to trust that. The man has full dominion over the household. So the woman has dominion over the sectors of the household that she has dominion over. But if the ship fucking sinks, ladies, they're not looking at y'all like, well, why you ain't get a second job? Well, they're gonna be like, why that nigga? So that's where the head coach, assistant coach thing, the women being our assistant coach mean I'm listening to the suggestions because they see shit that I don't see. But when it's all said and done, I have to have final say because when it's all said and done, it falls on me. So yes, no, that dynamic don't change. But because they run the household when we not there, they can understand. They instantly get in a protector provider mode. Shut my door. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't wear this. Don't go there. So they can understand. So again, we're not doing this to say I'm the boss and you gotta listen. We're doing it to say, listen, when you're the boss at the house, you understand how you identify disrespect. You understand how you identify these said behaviors. So when I come home, I need you to understand that this is how I identify it because I got full dominion over everything in here because it's my responsibility to make sure y'all cool. Macho man shit aside. But I know I said I was gonna crack it at 45, but give us like another 15 and we're gonna rock. Cause I want the ladies to, get a
passed
little
that
bit
though,
more
right?
insight. All right, so give us another 11.
Yeah. Any thoughts to add to the conversation, ladies?
Yeah, I feel like more so it's principle of things.
Talk
Like
to me.
if we have the same, me and Monty always say the same principles, morals, values, and respect, then we can coexist.
100%.
If we don't have the same principle of what you're explaining, we're never going to understand. So when you were saying it, I was thinking like, okay, yeah, I would have to shut the fuck up because you make hella sense because it's the principle of what you're trying to say. It's not the fact that it was just M&Ms. It's not the fact that I'm in doubt in your
love
child. It's
this.
the
Yeah.
principle
Yeah.
that it's still something being took.
Yes.
So as long as it's being took, that's what I'm trying to get you to understand.
Yes.
So
That's what eliminates the it's only.
Right.
Because the only don't matter. It's subjective. It's the principle.
Yeah.
So I like how you added that. And yeah, y'all some